it's Bear Gardener, and welcome to another video. This one's been coming for a while. I've mentioned it a few times on stream that I've been swinging at this video for a bit, but I wanted to get it right. So I want the tone of this to hit right. So before I get into it, obviously you can find me all the bits down below. Links, follow, catch me on Twitch, follow me, subscribe, all that good stuff. I don't make a big deal of it, but your support helps me be able to do this. The more people I have interested, the more driven I am to make more content like this, and the support's been great. Secondly, I am a cards player, but I'm also a member of the Cards Contributor program, but I am in no way paid by, endorsed through, or shilling for 1939 games. My opinions are just that. My opinions, my views, the way I do things. 1939 are kind enough to give me a few free giveaway codes that I can use in some streams and events, but that's it. I don't get any help on account, none of the other stuff. Why all of this blurb? Because I'm about to give another disclaimer, which is we're about to talk about my opinions on expectations in cards and how that impacts the game, but also it's quite topical given the current releases that are just about to come out. We've got some new stuff coming, which I'll talk about, which is very exciting, but might also provoke some different conversations, and because I've seen a few comments and views that I feel the need to disabuse the notion of. However, as with anything else, the first thing is to start like an adult. These are my opinions. They are backed up by my experience and the experience of people who I know and play the game with, who I consider friends. They're views that have been tested in discussion with other people, but they are not absolute, they're not correct. I'm not arguing that I'm right and anyone else is wrong or anything like that. I'm just giving you my view so that as a new player, you can come and have some expectations in cards. So, what do I mean by new player expectations in cards? Let's start with the big one. This game is not pay to win. There's the headline for you. Any review that tells you it is lies. It's not true. Completely untrue. Unless you define winning as winning the World Championship, even then, technically you could probably do it without paying any money into the game, but also that's like one person out of many, many thousands, and the definition of winning in this game is a whole different one, which we're going to get to as well. And the expectations of this, but this game is not pay to win. You can play this game completely for free. I've taken two accounts, my own first starting account, the one that I play regularly, and also an experimental account to show the point in progress. I'll put the link in the description below. You can actually watch the majority of my progress from absolutely nothing to Field Marshal, which is the highest rank available in the game non-competitively, with no money spent in less than 30 hours. Perfectly possible to do. And I have videos to help you do that if that's the thing that you want to do. New player content is my thing. I love bringing new players into games. So let's talk about actual expectations in cards. So let's talk about basically the levels of playing cards. I hate the word levels, but it's probably the best word I've got. Approaches to the game. Esports, let's get this out of the way before we get started. There is an esports segment to cards. At Field Marshal, there is a ladder which you can climb, you can get to the top 100. There is a monthly tournament with actual money as a prize, which to enter, to get into the qualifiers for, you've got to be in the top 34. If you're not in the top 2, you've then also got to win your way through the qualifiers to get into the final part of it, and then the top players in that take home some actual cash. It's nowhere near as big as esports and things like League of Legends and other stuff, but it exists. It is there. If you wish, as a new player, to go from new player to competing and winning in esports in a short period of time, you will have to spend money. There is no point hiding that. It would be ludicrous to expect that you could get to a full collection of cards, which is largely necessary for competitive play. Even I don't have a full collection of cards, and I would struggle to go into competitive play because I don't have access to everything. Free to play in any meaningful speed. You would need to either spend a lot of time building up to it, have huge amounts of spare time to compress into doing it or to spend money doing it. So you can whale your way into this like any other game. There are ways to buy progress. Right. Esports exists. Next, something which is a personal bugbear of mine, and I think we often forget as players, and I do understand this, as a small-time tabletop RPG development person, I've been a developer and a writer for different things over the years. I understand it very well. It is often, when it is something that is enjoyable and a hobby, easy to forget that 1939 Games is a company with employees who need to pay for their homes, their food, their families, which means that, by definition, Cards needs to make money so that they can actually do that. Any expectation that a game like this can be produced at high quality, with a competitive scene, balanced, regularly updated, without adverts, completely for free, in perpetuity, as in continuously, is just ridiculous. It can't. Someone has to develop and sustain the game, and that person or persons have to get paid. So there has to be a way that money gets into the game. That doesn't mean everybody has to pay. In fact, Cards is amazing for the degree to which you can play this game for free. So, two big money chunks out of the way. Let's then talk about the approach that 1939 have taken thus far, and seem to be taking in the future, to monetizing a game. Because you kind of need to, and it will colour your approach as a player. 1939 do not force adverts down you. They don't in any way require you to watch adverts between games or anything like that, so there is no advertising monetization in this. There is no sponsorship monetization in this that I am personally aware of. What they do is provide a shop in which you can buy diamonds and spend those diamonds on card packs, cosmetics, expansions, things like that. The cost is roughly on par with other online games. There are ups and downs and changes, and people are always going to talk, depending on their specific situation, about costs, but the options are there. Okay, so enough talking about how all that works. Let's get to a new player experience. When you first download this game and want to learn about playing this game, stage one, don't spend any money. Have a look around my channel and a bunch of the other channels that are out there. There are many links in my stuff, and you can also find them in other places. There are plenty of ways to look at this and guides to how to enjoy this game and play it and get a feel for it without spending a penny. And you can keep doing so. The person who got me into this game, and is a very old and very good friend of mine, doesn't spend any money on this game at all and enjoys themselves and hits film and all that stuff. I personally choose to spend small amounts of money on this game in specific ways. We'll get to that in a bit, but I'm also not a competitive player. But you can do this for free, and you should do it for long enough to get comfortable with what you want from the game. And then you should ask yourself the question, what do I want to get from this game? What is my objective? And how do I value that? Like, it is one of those things we always forget to do. I forget to do it on a regular basis, which is just look at things externally and say, well, what do I want to get from this? If you just want a fun card game that you can do okay with, build a collection with, gradually play casually in the background, there is literally no reason to spend a penny on this game unless you choose to throw some money at it just to say thanks to the developers. If you want to do that, I highly recommend that as the season starts up, you pick up the Battle Pass in the shop. It's by far the best value way to lightly put yourself into money in this. It's going to get you considerably more value than just buying diamonds and spending them on random stuff. And it's opt-in. It's not a monthly subscription. You pay it once, and then next month you don't have to buy again. It's great. It helps things go on. However, if you want to keep going for free, you can use Crate. So let's have a quick hop over to the interface. And here we go. So here we are in the interface. Let's talk about crate. This is a great thing. Every week there is a cycle on this crate. At the end of it, your crate will open. Depending on the level of the crate that you get to, you will get a specific amount of cards. The base crate that you just get for existing gives you a standard wild card, which is one card that you can craft any standard card in the game with, and 30 gold. Standard gets you 2 standard gold cards, random standard cards, but with the gold foiling on the top of them, 80 gold, and 2 standard wild cards. It's not bad. Limited gets you 2 standard wild cards, 2 random limited gold cards, a limited wild card, and 150 gold. It is really pretty good value, especially early on in the game. Special's great. 1 special wild card, a special gold card, 2 limited gold cards, and a limited wild card plus 250 gold. Elite, if you can hit it, if you have the time to put into the game, or your collection is large enough that you're getting duplicates and stuff that are boosting it, can get you 2 special gold cards, a limited wild card, a special wild card, an elite wild card, and 350 gold, which is enough to go and buy yourself an officer pack. Buying packs being the next thing to look at. Crate, by the way, progresses by basically playing the game, increasing national progression, opening packs. There are various things that just give you XP towards your crate, and it will fill up quite nicely. I have not spent a penny this week. There is 2 days to go, just under 3 days to go. I'm already past special with my playtime. Now, there is some acceleration for me because my nation levels are quite high, and therefore when I'm opening packs, there are some dupes and other things. And because I have the battle pass, if I hit special, it will upgrade to elite. If I hit limited, it will upgrade to special, so on and so forth. You get 1 level of upgrade for your battle pass, plus some cosmetics. Packs. In the shop, we can go buy packs. They cost gold. You're looking at the 1 pack option. You can pay 100 gold for a core pack, like a base pack, or 330 gold for an officer pack. The officer packs get you much more access to the rarer cards in the game. Early on in the game, it's probably worth buying base packs because they keep building lots and lots and lots. You can buy more of them, and you can really expand your standard and limited collection. At a certain point, which you will choose yourself depending on where your collection gets to, you're going to want to switch to officer packs and just stay there, because the standards will take care of themselves, and you want to get the special and elite cards. So, that's basically it from the point of view of what you can do for free versus putting money into this. You will get gold for completing your missions. You'll get 1 mission a day, 2 if you have an active battle pass. Each mission is worth 50 gold. So you can earn 50 or 100 gold a day by completing a mission, which means you can earn 350 or 700 gold a week just by doing your daily missions, which you should definitely do. You can also, skirmishes and things like that have good rewards. I think the current skirmish has a med pack, which increases your XP, but sometimes they give card packs and other things. But again, free-to-play access. If you just want a casual game, no reason that you can't do that. Just keep playing it for free. Enjoy it. It's great. Let's look, though, at what you can go past that. So what can you reasonably expect to achieve free to play? So ranks-wise, go to ranks here. It is perfectly reasonable and doable. Again, link in the doobly-doo that you can see me showing a video to do it, to free to play, hit Field Marshal, and get the rewards. And the rewards for your different levels are really good in this game. Field Marshal, in particular, gives you your Field Marshal ranked back card back, which you get the first time you hit Field Marshal, which is nice and pretty, but we move on. I actually personally don't like it. I think it's quite gaudy, but it's cool that it exists. Critically, you get 4 random packs and an elite gold at the end of the season for completing it. So there's good value in doing it. No reason not to do this. and it is perfectly doable, but you don't have to hit Field Marshal to enjoy the game. Past Field Marshal, things get different. Because once you've hit Field Marshal, if you are just hanging about casually, and that's the thing you want to do and get some value, honestly, at that point, just stop concentrating on objectives. Because the next stage is the ladder. Now, the ladder is literally gaining points for every win that you get. The point system is not something I'm going to go into here, but largely speaking, you're going to gain somewhere between sort of 3 or 4 points and 12 points or so every time you win a game, and you'll lose some points every time you lose a game. If you want this to be relevant, I suppose there are 2 ways of doing it. You might want to just see your name in the top 100, because the top 100 players in the game, we can see their names. Everyone can see them on the ladder. Kind of cool if your name gets on there. I've been on here, it's funky, it's nice, but I'm not particularly bothered by it. These gold marked names, however, are in the top 34, which we talked about earlier, which is what you aim for if you want to compete. So you play 1v1 games, best of ones, gaining points for winning. When the season wraps, the top 34 players, actually 32 of the top 34 players, will be invited to OCC qualifiers. The top 2 players go straight through to OCC finals. OCC is the Officers Club Clash Championship. Or the point being, that is where you get into esports and competition. Now, things to be aware of if you're thinking about this. OCC is not best of ones. You must have 3 decks using different main nations for the qualies. Those 3 decks will need to be relatively competitive, because all of them are going to need to be able to match up and play and win. So this is why I said earlier, competitive players generally need a full or nearly full collection, because you need varied decks and the ability to play them. Secondly, let's talk about the reality of getting to OCC. Now, to actually get enough points to get to and stay in the top 34, you're going to have to play somewhere between 200 and 300 games in a season-ish. Now, 200 games a season at 7 minutes a game, charitably. It's a reasonable pace. It's a pace I've been clocked at when I'm playing well. 7 minutes a game, that's 70 minutes for every 10, 700 minutes for every 100, or 1400 minutes. See where I'm going with this? As many hours of time that you would have to put in to climbing ladder. You also have to time it right, because towards the end of season, people will start climbing hard, and you might have to dedicate time to push to stay in the top 34 and not drop down quickly. All this to say, you're making a very active choice if you wish to compete in a game like this. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, if you want to compete, there are plenty of ways to reach out for advice. If you want to talk to someone about what that might look like, you can ask me. I don't compete in this game. I have competed in other card games, both physically and online in the past. I have some understanding of what it looks like to put the time in. But you need to be aware of what you're signing up for. Realistically, unless that's what you're looking for, or you just kind of want to be in the top 100 because, hey, it's cool to have your name in the top 100, ladder is irrelevant. Say that again. Ladder is irrelevant. It doesn't just have fun. Play the decks you enjoy. Have some good games. Unless you're looking to climb, you don't need to focus on the videos that are like, this is the top meta deck, and this is good, and this is great into that matchup. If you do want to get into that, and you find that interesting, well, there's content here that will help you, there's content at places that will help you, but it's not necessary. Okay. It's my view on levels of aiming to it. Decide what you want to do and not get from the game. Once you've decided, commit to that and keep your use and play of the game in line with that. Also, and I will endlessly say this, please, from myself, from 1939, from everyone involved, if you can't afford to put money into this game, don't. You do not need to. Play it for free, enjoy it for free, go and look at all the videos that we've got out there to help people enjoy this game for free. The last thing I want to see is anyone who is struggling financially and really wanting to kind of just feel engaged in the game, feel like they have to pay to win. You don't. You can have a great experience in this game for free, and you should. That's my personal thing. Hop off my perch. The last thing I want to talk about is the direction of travel in the future for cards as I'm seeing it. Now, I don't know anything special. I am just a content creator. But what I've seen Cards of 1939 choosing to do with cards, with the new spring releases and the Battle Pass, is to make a choice to move towards what is essentially sensible monetization. So making that choice to shift towards sensible monetization, they need to make money to keep the game going and to make the game grow. Ways that you can do that. The Battle Pass is a great choice because it's an opt-in thing that people can put some money into each month and give consistent income stream. The next thing we've seen is battle-ready packs. Now, I don't know what's going to be in them. I haven't got any more details than you do. You can watch the videos. I'll put the links down below. But the idea is that you can pay, I think it's 200 or 300 diamonds, to get a pack that contains a complete deck in an archetype with some advice as to how to play it. Now, these decks aren't going to be perfect. They're probably going to need growth and work to make really quite good, and that just makes sense. It would also be very disinteresting if you just buy a deck and play it. They're on par with, say, Magic the Gathering starter decks, and they're about the same cost when you convert diamonds to your local currency in most cases. Certainly in mine. I did the conversion because I'm that human being. It's about the same price. I personally believe this to be an incredibly positive and sensible direction of travel, because it's not niche forcing any expenditure. There's no paywall. This is a way to get a benefit if you choose to spend money. And choose is such a rare and powerful thing to see from a developer. Many developers are pushed, pigeonholed into feeling like they have to force microtransactions. If you've played any other online games of various varieties, you will hit a pay-to-win barrier, and you will suddenly have to, if you want to really keep enjoying the game, there's a point at which you have to spend money. I've not hit that in cards. I play cards a lot. You can come watch me on stream. I have not found this to be the case. No one I talk to who plays at any level has particularly found this to be the case beyond competitively, which is a small part of the community. The majority of the community just wants to enjoy the game and can do so for free. All right, that's enough. That's plenty of me giving you my thoughts. It's either useful to you or it isn't. If you have opinions and thoughts, you can put them in the comments. However, I will say it because I will always say it. If it's impolite, aggressive, sweary, rude, or just counterproductive, if it is not a considered opinion, I will just delete it. I will not answer it. I will not respond to it. I will just remove it. If you get into a flame war with somebody else who's made a comment, I will simply delete them. I don't want to have to lock comments or anything on any of my content, so I will sign out the same way I always do, which is my personal rule 0. Just enjoy life and be good human beings. I will see you in the next video, and thank you all for your support.